Okay, I think it's probably time to make a start. I think we're up to just nearly 25 participants. I'm sure if we've got any people coming late, they can just jump on. They won't miss too much at the start. We'll just go through the normal opening introductions. So hello again, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. Yeah, this is our fourth Creating Conversations webinar now. So what is it, like week 5 in the Big Brother house? But no, it's really great to have you all back with us. So thank you so much for joining us. Today's session is actually not going to be delivered by me. It's going to be mostly delivered by my colleague Diana, who I'll get to introduce you to briefly. But she's going to be looking at tips for filming video at home, which I think is really topical because I know a lot of people are now trying to communicate and get their message heard, but obviously it's with everything else going on, there's a lot of information out there and it's kind of information overload at the moment. So I think making sure that your content is like engaging and clear is really, really important. So I'm really looking forward to finding out a lot about how to film video from home. Okay, so this is the kind of rough idea of what we'll manage to get through today. So we'll go through our standard kind of introduction, get a chance to say hello and get to meet one another. We're going to do a little bit about video and why it's important. And then the bulk of the session will be tips from Diana, which I have had a sneaky peek at, and there's absolutely loads. So be prepared for a lot of really, really good information from her. Okay, so I would imagine that everybody who's with us has probably been to one of these before, but in case you haven't, unfortunately, what we have to do is we're going to have to mute everybody when you join it, just because otherwise it can be quite distracting for the presenter if you get like a lot of background noise and for even people listening. So we kind of mute everybody, but that's not to say that you can't get involved throughout, and please, please do. So hopefully you'll all be aware now of the chat function, which you can just kind of pop up, and please do ask your questions throughout today's session. But yeah, if you've got any questions, please just drop them in there. Last time, which was actually 2 weeks ago, we had a 1 week break for Easter. But last time we looked at social media communications, looking particularly at some of the research, one of our projects, The Sprout, which is Cardiff's information website for young people. We looked at some of the research that The Sprout conducted with young people about how they use social media, looked at some of the trends, thinking about how we can use those trends to our advantage in terms of making our content engaging and kind of well presented for young people. And we looked in particular at my favorite social network at the moment, TikTok. But if you've missed any of that, it's actually, we didn't get a chance to record that one, unfortunately. But the slides are available on the Notion site, which we'll put the link to at the end. Okay, so as we do every week, it would be lovely to have introductions from everybody. So if you haven't already, if you can open up the chat window, and if you could type in your name, your job and organization, and if possible, something that has made you smile this, well, actually fortnight. So if there's anything you can think of that has kind of given you something to be happy about in the last kind of fortnight, please do share it with everyone. I'll read a couple out. While you're introducing yourselves, I will very briefly introduce myself. So yeah, my name is Andrew Collins. I'm the Communications and Engagement Officer at Promo-Cymru. And the one thing that made me smile this week was BBC have launched their new education service, Bite Size, which are doing daily lessons. And some of the teachers that they've got to deliver these lessons are incredible. So I think they've got the Man City footballer Sergio Aguero doing Spanish lessons. David Attenborough doing geography. I mean, no offense, my geography teacher, but that is a massive step up. And my favorite one of all, history with Danny Dyer. I mean, I feel like I would have done a lot better at history if Danny Dyer was my teacher. I mean, he's everybody's favorite royal. Am I right? Okay, great. So let's have a look at some of the messages coming in. So hello to Sally. Sally from the Children's Legal Centre in Wales. Oh, and yeah, she has got the gold dust of items in lockdown. You've managed to buy bread flour. Amazing. Hi, Dale Luce, youth mentor at Cardiff Youth Service. Finally made a work YouTube channel. Oh, well, this is perfect. What perfect timing. Amazing. Hi, Sarah, from the fan charity. Potatoes are coming through. Oh, that's cool. I don't know. How long has it taken to make or grow potatoes? I don't do anything horticultural or vegetable for that matter. So I'd be really interested to know how long that took. Fantastic. We got Ellen. Hi, Ellen. Quiz night. Yeah. Amanda, sun clearing out garage. Yeah, you'll have like a whole new space for stuff now. It's great. Hey Dan, lovely to see you again. Carrie, Deanna, is it? Dina? Alid, hi Alid. The sun, yeah, the sun's been amazing, right? It makes a big difference from, I think, all of our mental health in lockdown. Liam, Natalie, I'll have a look at some of these later on, but I know Diana is chomping at the bit to get going. There's lots to cover, so I'll try and go through those later on and say hello to everybody. So if we crack on. So we did this last week, which is for you to have a go at annotating the screen. So if you click your view options and click annotate, don't write anything just yet if you don't mind. But in a moment, I'm going to ask you to tick a box on the screen that best shows where you fit in terms of your video skills. So I'll leave it on the screen just for a few seconds. We've all had a chance to see. Hopefully, if you just click view options, then the annotate button, and you should get like a little pencil. Now, using this grid, I would love it if you could show me, and in particular Diana really, which of these boxes you probably best fit under. So was it, I know how to make, edit and share high quality videos, maybe even thinking about using digital SLRs or proper video photography equipment. I'm pretty good at making videos. I do film them. This is definitely me. I do film videos on my phone, but they always look pretty hopeless. So I'm definitely in that with what looks like at the moment the majority of the ticks. I am no YouTuber, certainly. And that is why Diana will be doing today's session instead of me. And yeah, I barely know how to use my camera. That's on my phone, let alone my camera. Wonderful. Oh, that's great. So we have one absolute expert, quite a few who know what they're doing, which is great. The majority, like myself, who not really sure how to make it look good, and a few real tech newbies, which is, I think, the perfect spread. Diana will be thrilled. I think this is exactly what she was hoping for. So, okay, I'm actually going to have to end my screen share, and I'm going to have to hand over to Diana. So let's see how this goes.
Hello.
Hello, Diana. Yes, fantastic. You can hear, fantastic. And
Okay,
if you want to share your screen now.
Yeah. Okay, one sec.
And while Diana's doing that, just to let you know that if you have any questions throughout today's presentation, drop them in the chat. I'm going to be doing Nathan's role this week, so I can always pass on any questions that come through to Diana anytime you have them.
Hello, everybody. So it's the first time I do this, so I'm not sure over Zoom. So I'm not sure if I'm making any mistakes or anything, but please, if you cannot see the screen or you cannot hear me or anything, let me know. So as Andrew introduced himself, I'm going to introduce myself. So I'm Diana, I'm the Promo Multimedia Director and Producer. So hopefully today I'm going to give you some tips. Video can be overwhelming, so if it's too much, please let me know, because it's a lot of things working together for doing videos right. But I would like to start by giving you a bit of a context, so we know why video and why everybody's talking about video. So people find videos more engaging, so more memorable and more popular than any other type of content out there. This is really important when we are trying to get information to people, especially at this time. All the news about coronavirus, what to do, what not to do, social distancing. And so some people can experience as well some information overload. And another important note is that people retain 95% of a message when they watch it in a video. So compare to a 10% when reading it on a text. So you can see, you know, like the importance of a video. Sorry, I jumped one. So to give you more idea of how important video is, I would like to share some stats. So you put you into a context. So 6 out of 10 people would rather watch online videos than television. YouTube is the second most popular website after Google, and Facebook executive, a Facebook executive predicted that their platform will be all video and no text by 2021, which is next year, basically in a couple of months. So you can see the importance. So I've noticed some trends so far with this coronavirus lockdown. So I would like to share them with you. So I can see increasingly more live videos, so mostly on Instagram, on Facebook, where people chat with their audiences or stream live with a guest. I see that a lot. It can be also direct talk to the fans or a fitness class. A lot of people are starting to do some yoga. I'm not sure if some of you maybe have been doing some yoga with some people. I've definitely been, no, Andrew? I've been doing some heat exercise, which are, I think, quite popular nowadays. But also like people are streaming live performance. So you saw Coldplay. I put a screenshot of the Coldplay performance on Instagram, but you saw as well the Together at Home concert. I personally think it was really good. So you can share after with you. I cannot see everybody, so I'm not sure if someone is nodding or anything. And as Andrew said, it's a bit weird because I mostly see myself only. So, but yeah, you can share it maybe after with me. Another thing that I see a lot is tutorials or what we call how-to videos. So this type of videos provide step-by-step detail of how to accomplish something, a task, whatever it is. So for example, people are sharing recipes, beauty tips, still, you know, very popular, but also now they are making practical things. Like how you make your own face mask to protect yourself from coronavirus. Oh, hello.
We're back. Are we back?
Did they touch anything?
I have no idea. Sorry, but I think we're back. So I tell you, do you want to start sharing your screen again, Dan? And hopefully we can carry on where we left off.
Yeah, it's everybody. I don't know what happened. I'm really sorry. I didn't touch anything, so promise. So, sorry. Present. So everybody's there, yeah? Oh, hold on. Okay, so sorry about that. I don't know what happened. So I was talking about how people find the videos, you know, how find your video, because there are a lot of content out there. So I want to emphasize one main difference between videos you post on YouTube and those that you post in other social media sites. So while videos on YouTube are found by searching, social media videos are discovered on feeds. So for example, people will search for a specific video on YouTube to learn how to do something or watch a music video, but on social media, on sites like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, they are more likely to find a video when scrolling through their feed, because a friend has shared it or because it's a page you are, or a person you are following. So whether they watch it depends obviously on how eye-catching and engaging it is, because again, it just appears eventually and it needs to grab their attention, so they will watch it. Okay. Oh, sorry. Oh. So the question is how we make these eye-catching and engaging videos. So tips from me are message, very important. It needs to be clear and simple. And also the video must look good. So these are my top tips. So how to make an eye-catching and engaging video. So videos require a different approach to writing content of articles. You have a very limited attention span online. So it's important you balance making a connection with the audience along with giving information or whatever you are communicating. So tips: keep your language simple, humanized, and relevant to your target audience, which is the people who are watching your video. So get to the point and communicate your ideas clearly. Script writing is underrated, but very important part of the process. It does not need to be complicated, but something that helps you to keep your message clear and avoid repeating yourself. So, okay. So I'll go to the message. So it's important that that you know what I was saying about script writing. It's important you know what you're saying before turning the camera on. So I recommend, I put a series of steps that you may want to follow when creating a video, and it's what you need to make it engaging. So you need a hook, an opening, and normally it's because of this attention span. So you want something to connect with people very quick, and normally faces are very eye-catching and grab the attention. So, you know, do something very quick in this first few seconds. I'll show you an example after so you understand what I'm saying about this structure. Then normally is to do like an introduction. So introduce yourself or someone else or the context. And then is when here you can add some branding elements if you need to. So the hook should be you, your face, or something like very appealing. And then in the introduction is when you can add some branding if you need to promote where you work or your brand. So then you show the problem and solution. So here's where you span the content. So you go into depth of the content of the video. Then you can summarize the main points, why it's important, what you're telling, and then a call to action. So this is very, very important too. You need to make sure people knows what to do after watching your video. Why are you asking them to do? So I'm going to show a video that I saw in BBC, and you can see how this how it's followed this structure. So I hope you can see the video. I need to go here. So let me know if you cannot hear it.
To come through at 99. When you make your 100th Auntie Carrie, we'll have to have the big knees up. Yeah. My name is Jess, and this is my lovely Auntie Carrie. She's recovering from COVID-19. You began by having problems with your legs, didn't you? Trouble walking.
Stairs where they went stairs.
Yes, stairs where they went stairs. The hallucinations got so bad that you ended up going to the hospital, and you'd had a temperature spike one night. So they gave her the test for the COVID-19, and it was a real shock for all of us to find that the test was positive. It was frightening.
So much.
Auntie Carrie was less worried than we were. Awful to think that we couldn't see you.
Yes, it was. Horrible.
How are you doing now compared to how you were when you first came back?
Oh, I'm much better.
The nurses and doctors and everybody at QA were fantastic.
Big thank you. We were wonderful.
Auntie Carrie wouldn't be here without them, and we can't thank them enough. I don't know what we'd do without her. She's done so much. Auntie Carrie moved to Africa when she was 18. He became a member of the special branch of the police in Kenya. You were a fanny during the Second World War, weren't you? it gets to a point where you think there's nothing that Auntie Carrie hasn't done.
I'm just ordinary.
No, you're not. None of the things you've done sound ordinary to me, Auntie Carrie. It's nice for you to know that your story is helping other people, isn't it? Stay indoors. It's just not worth the risk, especially when there are people like Auntie Carrie around.
Do as you are told.
So hopefully with this video you can see very clearly the structure. So they start very grabbing, you know, like she's very old and she had coronavirus and she's still alive, isn't it? So it was very attention grabbing. And then she introduced herself. Hello, I don't remember the name, sorry. But yeah, then went into the details of the story. And then towards the end, she said, okay, hopefully this story is like why I'm telling you all this, why I'm being so, you know, into detail of the story. So it's because, you know, hopefully her story is benefiting you. So that's kind of the summary, why I'm telling you this, why I'm telling you the problem and the answer. And then very, very clear call to action, stay at home, yeah? So if you follow that structure, hopefully, you know, it will help you to create some engaging content. So I'll go back to the slides, 1 sec, because I cannot see it with my face on it. Okay, present. Right, let's see if it was, oh, it keeps like jumping more than I need to. So we talk about how we do it engaging. So it's about how you structure what you're telling. And I'm gonna now give you some tips on how to make it eye-catching. So here are my top 3 tips. So take care of the lighting, take care of the audio, and take care of the composition. So I'm gonna start by explaining a bit about lighting. So I'll explain now, but I wanna show you actually maybe see that I'm looking all right, but I'm cheating a bit, as you can see, because I'm actually using some light that I'll show you now. So for lighting, there are 2 ways to get the light. It can be natural, or can be artificial. So for lighting, you can use always natural light. So to get the best effect for natural light, always put the person in front of the window and not facing with the window behind. So if you do that, then you will get a very hard, it will be very hard to see. It will give shadows, or the background will be very light and very white. So again, try to use that natural light to face and to light your subject. So what are the benefits of natural light? So it's free, you don't need to pay for it, you can use it all the time you need, and you can use a reflector to bounce the available light. So what is a reflector? I'll show you now. And what you can use as a reflector. So this is like we've been using it for many, many years, aluminium foil. So 1 sec, because I have aluminium foil here for you. So, hello. So this will bounce some of the natural light. So you need to maybe focus a bit, but hopefully you will put it like reflecting the light. So it will help. You will need to, so bounce, it will bounce the light. I don't know if you have any questions, but I mean, it's easier just doing with the window, but I'm a bit limited with the computer. But so yeah, so you will use it to bounce the light on your face. So you can see, you cannot really see it on me, but, and sometimes here as well, you can see it here more, look. So I put it underneath, obviously hide it, don't show it to anybody that you're using this, but hopefully So I have it on and I have it off. Can you see, like, very clear, my chin has more light, so I look nicer, and now I don't have it on, so it's like harsh shadows here. So everybody wants to look nice, so yeah, buy aluminium foil to use as a bouncing reflector. Sorry about the noise because it's a bit noisy. But that's something you can use at homes, which is, you know, mostly everybody has, and it's quite inexpensive. So these are the benefits of the natural light, but what are the cons? So natural light is not constant, it varies, because as the day goes to night, you start losing light. So, you know, it's not constant, it's not all the time the same, so it's very hard to manage. And also very important, cloudy days, because when the clouds goes on the sun, it will be less light, and then when it goes, it will be more bright. So it's not constant. So that's the only cons. And for that, we have the artificial light, which are more, so they are more constant, they give you more constant and all the same light. So we have LED lights that are a good option to have, and they are very lightweight and provide a very soft and tone light. I'll go through some of the lights that I'm using now. So benefits offer more control, but the cons is obviously you need to invest in having sun, to buy sun, plus the setup. So you may need multiple artificial lights and accessories, batteries, cables, so space is required. You need a space, and think about the health and safety if more people are around. So they are the only cons, but you have more control.
Diane,
Okay.
sorry, apologies to interrupt. Sorry, we just had a question from Liam, who I think was very impressed with your tin foil. He's just asking kind of approximately, also we've had some good suggestions that you can use to cook with later on, so it's very eco-friendly. But how far away would you recommend the foil being?
Oh, I lost you, Andrew.
Oh, sorry, I was just saying, how far away would you recommend the tin foil being?
Well, it doesn't bounce too much, so I think it needs to be quite close. But yeah, it needs to be quite close, I think. It depends, I suppose, as well, how bright is your light, how much light actually bounce direct to the foil. But yeah, it needs to be quite close.
Great, thank you.
Am I answering the question?
yeah,
experiment how far you can go, and then let me know. Yeah, but this is honestly, I have been using that many years. This is like a cheap, always a home thing that you just use. Okay, so LIT lights. Sorry, I'm getting lost. So there are different types. So I'm going to show you. I have some here. So I have the same like it's in the photo. So I explain what I do have here. So there are a lot of benefits about using these lights. They are portable, means they don't need cables. So they use batteries. So normal batteries or rechargeable batteries. So they are very safe to use. They put a lot of amount of light, and they don't heat, which is something that in the past, when we start filming like many years ago, the lighting tend to be very hot, so it was very not safe to touch it when you wanted to move it. So now it's very safe to use these lights actually. So one of the benefits is you can control the brightness, so you can move it in, so more or less. I'll show you now. But the cons are you need, so maybe several lights to focus on the on what you need. So I'll show you here. So it's made of a lot of lights. Oh, sorry. And then you can control here how much light you want to put. But again, some of the problems is with this type of lights, if you focus on this, your other part of your face will get shadows. So to avoid that, you have something that is called the ring light, which is better for doing this type of videos that maybe are more used in coronavirus when people talk to camera. So this is the one I'm using here. So I'm not sure you can see it. So I have a light with me here. So the benefits of using the green light, sorry, I cannot put it down, it got stuck. Okay, I don't know. Hope you can see it now. So the light gets more distributed on your face, so it avoids these harsh shadows. So you will look nice and even younger. So maybe, you know, it won't show your wrinkles and it will even the tone. So this is the type of light bloggers and influencers use a lot, and more for like, yeah, makeup and all that. So are there any questions about this light? Yeah? No? Okay. So, okay, so tip on how to control your brightness once you have the setup. So use the camera auto exposure and automatic focus lock to block the focus point on your image, and then use the slides to go up and down. I made a video for you, so I play it now. So you first lock, and then you adjust the brightness as you need to. So very important that you get the right balance of the light. So all phones has this. You just need to find where is the adjustment, but it's very similar. So another important thing is about audio, how you capture, you know, what's being recorded is very important. So it's as important as the visual. So unfortunately, the microphone on your phone is not very good. So we recommend to use external microphones. The problem is, so the microphone on your phone is normally here on the front. So when you record, obviously the microphone is facing you and not facing maybe the person that is talking. So that's why we recommend using some inexpensive external microphones. So again, so if you don't have a microphone, so you can use so any headphones that have these controls, which is the microphone. So again, you can use it, don't show it, again, hide it, like around here, for example, and it'll be very close to you when you speak. So, you know, most of us has one of these at home. But if not, I can go through all the microphones that you can get. So all the equipment that I'm explaining here is, I have a list, and all together it goes up to £100 roughly. So it's very inexpensive. So the other type of microphones that you can maybe invest are the lavalier microphones. They are great in a lot of situations where you don't wanna have to worry about the close, how close to the mic you are. So just clip them and start recording. So again, I have the same that is on in the slideshow. So as you can see, I think it's this 16 quid, and you put it here and plug it into your phone. Normally you tend to hide it. And another one, apart from this, are the shotguns microphones. So shotguns, the difference is they are great for documenting action and lifestyle videos. So or sit down interviews. So something that you can point at you're not moving from there, so it can keep constant. Because if you have the gun, the shotgun pointing at you, and then you go far, it will happen like the same like that. The audio will get farther and farther, as is happening, I suppose, in this webinar. Okay, so last one, I hope I'm not overwhelming you with tips, is the composition, which is how you frame. So some tips about how you frame your shots. So, so they are the rule of thirds, camera angles, and don't cut off limbs that I go now. So what's the difference between center composition and the rule of thirds? So for those who doesn't know about the rule of thirds, and again, I'm not gonna go into too much details, otherwise it'll be too much. So you share what is just imaginary lines that divide the image in 9 equal parts, 3 horizontal and 3 vertical. So it's great to see if your shot is balanced and it's not like, you know, like sided, but also to frame what you are filming. So you can frame it in the middle, which I think is the most used now with coronavirus, because center composition are used to communicate with the person who is watching. So it's being always used by presenters, news presenters. So you create that connection with the person who is watching your video. So there's that imaginary line. And if you use the rule of thirds technique, where you position like not like I am now, but I'll be like on the side and leaving space on the other side, is more for interview. So it feels like someone is here with me, as you can see in the photo I shared as well. It means I'm not talking to you guys directly, but I'm talking to someone who is there. So that's the main difference to where to look or where to position yourself when creating videos. So if you want something that talking to the people who are there, maybe middle is more accurate. And then lovely Augusta agreed to take the photos. Camera angles, very important as well. So is the level, apart of going far or closer, I will want to emphasize the eye level on the camera. So again, you can see now I'm talking eye level. I'm not like this. So it won't be like, you know, like looking slightly bad, or I'm not talking like that, where you can see more my chin than anything else. So eye level for everything you do, even for video conferencing. So you can, you know, elevate your computer if you need to, with books or anything. But yeah, try to keep the camera on eye level. So you can see the difference effects that produce when you move it out of that. And then another one that not a lot of people may not know about it, don't cut up limbs. So always, like for example, if you use this bead, always before or after, never just on it, because it feels that the person doesn't have hands or arms. So this is a very important rule. Whatever you frame it, always before or after, never on the limb. So you can see some examples. The first one, I think it feels like Augusta doesn't have hands. So yeah, making it looks more natural when you use these techniques. So tips here, use tripod. So it will help you to stabilize the image and to frame correctly. So it won't shake, it won't go separate or sided, it will be constant, which is very important, have a constant image on the screen. And then you can have, so apart from tripod, you can have the rig. So a part of help you to stabilize, what a rig does is helps you to add accessories. So you build up on your light or your microphone here. I'll show you. So you put your light here, you screw in, and then you may put your microphone on as well. So this is used for professionals. This is just a mobile version, but you know, DSLRs use rigs and lights, and it's all the same. Extra batteries that you may want to add on it. So it's very helpful. Yeah. So finally, tips. Charge your battery. So video recording is it uses a lot of battery life. Free up your memory. A lot of times you're filming and then it's like, oh, it stops because you don't have enough memory on your phone. So little things like that. But this also applies to DSLR, some other video equipment. Make sure you have enough space. And clean the camera lens. This is more for mobile phone than DSLRs, because DSLRs has caps, but phones, how many times we are like doing this and dirty. So make sure it's clean and it doesn't have your fingerprint on it when you film. And another tip for mobile, when you record with the phone, is use plane mode. So you will avoid things coming through and stopping the filming. So this is all to use with any type of camera app or with the camera phone. But there are apps that, apart from recording videos, they let you add filters, emojis, and making it more quirky. So the same applies, just the difference is you can add little things to it to make it more, I suppose, social media quirky. So I'm not going through all of them, but I prepared the list for you to try. So they are just different. Ones do one thing, others do another thing. This is kind of the ones I like, kind of, but you know, it depends what it suits you, if it makes sense. So everybody has different needs, if it makes sense. And most of them you can add text as well, but if you want to add text in a different app, there are apps that are only and specifically to add text. So some of them are this Clip-O-Matic, Tipito, Mixed Captions, and I have subtitles. One of them, I think it was Mixed Captions, I tried it yesterday. So you press Auto Generate and it captures your voice and put the text for you, and you just need to adjust. Again, most of them are free or with subscriptions where you can pay a little bit, but mostly it's like 2 quid, 3 quid, 20 maybe in one go, forever, or there are different levels of needs, if it makes sense. And then, oh great, my thing is, I'll drop the thing. Oops, sorry, I don't know what's happening here. My computer just went crazy. So I think maybe Andrew can explain more, but we have something in Notion that is a list of recommendations for charities during this coronavirus. There is a lot of information there. So it's digital resources. I'll go back. So this is how it looks like. We'll share the link with you. So you go there. Sorry, my computer's a bit slow now. So you will find different information, but under resources, you have media creation. And everything that I shared today with you is here. So some software for free images and video design, and then the recommended equipment list. And again, this is just a link to one, but they are very similar. So feel free to choose, compare, and buy it to the cheapest, you know, shop, and even locally, you know, that people may need it now. But I think that's it. So I don't know how I'm doing with time. So I hope I'm doing well.
Yeah, I think you've finished almost perfect timing. Thank you, Diana. Amazing. Thank you very much.
I didn't want to run too much at the same time, though, so I'm not sure. It's a lot to cover, so.
Yeah, there was, let me turn my camera back on so I'm joining. Yeah, that was fantastic. Thank you, Diana. There was absolutely loads of content, loads. And I know. Yeah.
You want me to stop my screen?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I know we've had a couple of questions which I can actually pass on now from the chat, but just to remind everybody that this webinar has been recorded. I forgot to record the last one, apologies. But if you do want to go back and catch up on anything Diana has mentioned, we'll be putting the video up on the Notion site, and it'll be on our social media as well. We'll also have the slides that Diana has shared. So again, if you've missed anything, if you want to have a look in your own time at any of that stuff, just remember it will all be there, which is you can go and have a look at that when you get a chance. Diana, I'm just going to quickly pass on a couple of the questions we've already had coming through, but please, if you have got questions, drop them in the chat now. The first one was from Hallie. Hey, Hallie. Hey.
Hello, Hallie.
So Hallie has asked, would you recommend getting filters for your LED light or purchasing one with a switch between white and warm light? Do you want to, just for those of us, because I don't really know what that means, so can you explain the difference in warm light and white lights?
Sorry, it's like I can go into detail, but you know, I don't want to go into detail if I don't need to, because otherwise I'm overwhelming people. So let me go back this. So some lights has already the color in it. Some you need to they will come, but you need to just interchange it. So obviously this is more orangey light. So this is like warm. It gives like a warmer effect on you, which is quite nice. And white is more like, I won't say medical, but a bit more cold style. So I think warmth is always nicer when you record faces. But you know, if you record something else that you want to make it clean and very bright and clear, maybe you want more white light. So I don't want to go too much into detail, but I want to show you here. You can switch, and I'm trying to see if you can see maybe the effect on my face. So this is a mix between orange and white. And then this is white. Can you see the difference? So it's very clean and yeah, white. Sorry for repeating myself. And this is the orange. So orange always gives you a bit more like bronzy tone, isn't it? So it's normally nicer. But yeah, I'll play the difference again. Maybe you know, maybe it's for taste. Maybe you rather that this looks better on you. This is white, like orange and the mix. So a completely different effect, as you can see. So yeah, filters, yeah. The answer is yes. Yes, they are very important.
Awesome, thanks. Thank you for the question as well, Hallie. We've had a comment from, I think it was, Dale. When you were talking about some of the apps you recommend, Dale's just mentioned, I think it's VideoScribe, which I think, I don't know if Dale wants to talk about it briefly. I can unmute you if you want, but I think it's like you can kind of, I guess you like put the video in. Oh, sorry, I've unmuted Dale. Sorry, Dale, do you want to just explain what that is?
Yeah, it's just like a free animation video app. I think it costs like £1 for like 10 videos you make to convert to download on your device then. But it's quite simple, easy to use. That's the reason I like it, because I'm quite simple.
Yeah, so there are different apps for animation and graphics. I didn't went into detail of that because that's another style of video. So it's just more like, I wanted to cover today how you record maybe yourself more than use, you know, graphics and things like that. Just so to give you another one in case you're interested in seeing it. I'm having one that is very cool for animation. So it's called Flip a Clip. I don't know if you can see it. So again, you download it on your phone and you can create very cool so I'm having some more things, but you can create very cool animation as well. Flip a Clip is called.
Great, thanks, Diana. That's cool. And yeah, thanks, Dale. Actually, we've had a question from Liam, which Dale, I don't know if you can answer. So the VideoScribe, is it only good for viewing on phones, or is it good on laptops? Do you know?
I've used it from an iPad and But I'm not too sure about laptops, sorry.
That's cool. Great. Okay. Well, thank you very much, guys. We've had, I think, 2 more questions. One from Dan. I will just preface his question. So Dan says, have you got any free editing software? I know I spoke to Diana. I mean, if we talk about, so Diana wanted to cover today just the filming side. I mean, if we did one on editing, that's like probably a half a day of training in itself. But Diana, just very quickly, have you got any editing software that you could use on a computer as opposed to mobile?
So in the computer, you can use, so you have Apple iMovie. I really like it, very simple. It depends how much knowledge you have. Premiere, great, Final Cut. Yeah, I will say some of those. But it depends on your knowledge, if it makes sense.
I think if there's interest, Diana might be convinced if this experience of doing a webinar wasn't too harrowing for Diana, I might be able to convince her to do one on editing if there's enough interest from everybody. So please do let us know. Perhaps drop us a comment on Twitter or any of our social networks if editing is something you would like Diana to do. Sorry, Diana, I'm throwing you in there.
Okay.
And finally,
can I say something? The editing won't make miracles. The most important part is this one. So plan what you're saying, plan how you're filming. Because editing, everybody thinks, oh, editing. Then you go to editing and then you struggle. So this is the most important part.
Yeah, good point. Good point. And I think, sorry, one more question, again from Liam, is for lighting, how do you recommend lighting someone giving a presentation or lecture? So I often find that the screen blows out or the presenter is too dark. So, and that's filming with the DSLR. I can see you've already answered our question, I think. Is it a ring light?
Yeah.
Great. And we've got a few people saying they're interested in video editing. So Diana, you may have to go again.
Yeah, that's okay. It's easier if you focus in one thing than, because it's a lot of elements playing together in video. So, sometimes it can be a bit overwhelming for people.
Great.
So yeah, to make a video is not one thing. It's a lot of elements putting together.
Great. Okay, there's still quite a few comments.
Can I ask, for editing, will it be editing on mobile phones, editing in computers, editing, what type of editing? Can I narrow it a bit?
Yeah, if you want to, if those people that have commented can just maybe drop a comment in the chat, and that might help Diana with her planning. In fact, while we're just waiting for people to do that, I will use this opportunity to point out that these Creating Conversations webinars, they originally started off as actual events that we used to run out of Promo-Cymru's office in Cardiff Bay. The whole idea of them, it wasn't meant to just be Promo-Cymru. We're always happy to have speakers. And so if there is anybody that would like to share anything, whether they want to do half an hour, 45 minutes, 5 minutes, we'd love to share anything that you've got. And if you're comfortable doing that, please do get in touch. I'll paste my email address in the comments. So if there is anything that you'd like to share and you can just give us a short presentation on, please do get in touch. We'd love to have you. Okay, coming through. So we've got a bit of a combination, actually, by the looks of things, Diana. We've got mostly phone, iPad, but then a few saying computers as well. Does that help?
Everything. That's fine.
Everything. Brilliant. Okay, great. Well, I think that probably brings our session to an end. Oh, and also we had something from Dan. That's very nice. After I recommend checking out, oh, cool, a live RPG. Goodness me. Awesome. Oh, and Hallie's asking, is there anything you need to be aware of in terms of clothing? That's interesting. And contrast the background when making a video. Yeah, that is something that I have never thought of, I can honestly say. Diana, what do you think?
Yeah, that's a great question, actually. So I think it's very important what you're wearing. So simple clothing is best than, a lot of flowers and crazy things, but it depends the look of it. It's all about feelings with video. What is the feeling you want to give? If you want to be more creative and funky, maybe you want to put a lot of color, so use not just your clothes but your background. How is your background? But you want to put something more elegant or serious or smart, maybe balance it with more like classic colors like whites, blacks, grays. So it's all about feeling with video. What's the feel you wanna share? What's the feel of it? So obviously, today, as you can see, I went for a kind of classical, yeah, it's quite neutral look or feel of it. And another tip is don't go. I hope I can maybe bring the thing, but see the effect. Don't go close to the background like this. Always give dimension, because with video video tends to plan, so it flattens, cameras flattens, so you want that depth of field, you want to create the depth that the videos don't have normally. Same with photos. When you compose a photo, you want to show there is a depth of field and it's not a flattening image. That's when you create something more interesting. So always depth, think of depth.
Sorry, I thought we were nearly done, but actually we have had another question. Thank you, Dan.
Okay.
From Mark.
Okay. I like questions.
It's another really interesting one. See, I don't do anything in video, so I find all of this really interesting. But yeah, so he's asked, would tattoos make a difference when choosing shots or lighting?
I'm not sure. I don't have tattoos. I suppose it's not really. I suppose, like I said before, it depends the general feel you want to give, more than just something particular. But yeah, but another thing that you can do is if you want to emphasize something, you may want to maybe light the tattoo more than other part of the body. So you can play with the lighting. The lighting is good for that. So for example, imagine you have like an amazing tattoo here. So instead of put the lighting more in the face, more in front, maybe I want to, light more my tattoo so it's more bright, and, so you play with the lighting in emphasizing maybe, or focusing in certain bits of the image. Light is very good for that.
I'm not going to lie, I'm really, really intrigued to know what Mark's tattoo is. Oh, in fact, there you are. You're on camera, Mark.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Cool.
Oh, so have you got like the full sleeve tattoo?
What do you think of the tattoos?
Oh, wow. Look at that. Oh, my God. That is amazing. That must have taken months.
So what do you think with the tattoos?
Mark, you can unmute yourself if you want to talk.
Oh, I was just interested, really. Like, I love colour tattoos, and I was thinking, like, would lighting make a difference to it? Because I know when I post on my social media, like, I do use filters and stuff, and it makes tattoos look a lot better. Different people's skin takes the ink differently. My family are all tattooists, so like I have a big interest into it then. But my skin particularly doesn't take colour very well. So obviously, looking now, I haven't got great lighting, but it looks quite dark. But on other people, it's quite light. But if I use editing, I can really make the colour pop then.
Yeah, so maybe you want something more like focus light. So this is, this type of lights makes everything very even. But with this one, you point at things and create shadows. You can actually make the effect on the tattoo because you are putting shadows on it and and make the color brighten. So maybe more focus light on certain bits.
Oh, brilliant. Okay, that's great. Thank you.
Yeah, play with the shadows. The thing is playing with the shadows, the light.
Oh, smashing. Thank you.
Great questions.
Yeah, really interesting.
Here the whole day.
Well, actually, but you say that, I think people probably do have work to be getting back to, or at least lunch if you haven't had a chance already. So in which case, I'll just bring everything to a close by saying thank you ever so much for joining us once again. It's been brilliant to have you, and hopefully it's been of some use. Next week, I think we've got penciled in a look at social media algorithms. So it's quite a technical talk about how algorithms actually work. So, or at least what the algorithms mean for your social media posts and how we can kind of use that information to hopefully do better on social media, I guess. But actually following that week, unless Diana fancies doing one on her video editing, we would love, as I said, to get more of you guys involved. So like I say, please do get in touch if there's something you would like to talk about in one of these. But otherwise, yeah, thank you ever so much, and see you same time next week. All the best.